All right, welcome back to Hannity. All right, for more on the midterms, Jeff Sessions' resignation today, we go to the great one, Mark Levin, host of CRTV's Levin TV. Number one. By the way, your ratings were killer on Sunday night.
We do our best.
Great one. Thank me. Life, Liberty, and Levin right here on the Fox News channel. Let's start with the results. I want three topics for you. You could go in any order. I want your take on the results, your take on the media, and your reaction to Jeff Sessions' resignation today.
Well, you know, Sean, in many ways, it's one and the same things. The media were very angry today at that press conference, and you have to wonder why. I thought the president, they said, had a lousy night. You know, the Democrats take about 34 seats, and I want the American people to understand what that means is they have an 11-member majority in the House. And with that 11-member majority, most of which are Republican seats, they intend to do everything they can to cripple the executive branch and cripple the presidency. And I'll get back to that in a minute. What we saw today in that press conference was a disgrace to this country. Imagine the world watching what took place there. These kamikaze journalists, obviously in a coordinated attack on this president, they're trying to cripple this presidency. They are trying to sabotage this presidency. It's not going to work, but that's what they're doing. They are furious that this blue wave was a blue tinkle last night, because that's all it was. And they've been talking about blue wave. They've been beating down this president, beating down the Republican Party, beating down these candidates. They pull out their racist tool to use, their white supremacy tool to use. They pull out their Nazi tool to use, their Hitler tool to use. They tried everything they could. You can't tell the difference between the Democrat talking points and the media in this country, because in many respects, they're one and the same thing. Survey after survey over the decades have shown us that most in the media are liberal. Most live and operate on the eastern seaboard and the western seaboard. Well, look what's going to happen now in the House of Representatives. Look at the diversity of Marxists and Leninists, pretty much. The Finance Committee, Maxine Waters, L.A. The, the House Oversight Committee, Gerald Nadler, Manhattan. The House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, L.A. Elijah Cummings, heading the Oversight Committee as well. He will be from where? Baltimore. And then, of course, you have Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco. So over here and over here. What about the middle of the country and the rest of the country? They're not going to be represented because the Democrat Party is controlled by these hardcore leftists. I am sick and tired of these media types trying to hijack these press conferences. These press conferences are for the American people. CNN, you don't even have an audience. It's not for you. It's not for MSNBC. And it's not for every harebrained, malcontent, miscreant Democrat liberal dressed up as a journalist. You know, we have standards in this country for doctors, for lawyers, for truck drivers, for plumbers, for electricians. What are the standards for journalists? Fake Tapper. Fake Tapper was a spokesman for a Democrat congresswoman. Then he was a spokesman for handgun controlling. Now he's a journalist. There's a guy that used to work for Obama who works at CNN. Now he's a national security reporter. What are their standards? There are no standards for journalists today. And let me tell the journalists, you say, tell the president, stop saying the media are the enemy of the people. No, he's not saying the whole media. He's said that 1,000 times. Let me tell the media something. The president isn't the enemy of the people either. And you should stop your campaign of trying to cripple him and destroy him. They're upset because there was no blue wave. They're upset they lost in 2016. They're upset they lost in 2018. And guess what? They're going to lose in 2022. Now, as for Sessions, it's a constitutional crisis, don't you know? What's a constitutional crisis? The president got rid of a cabinet secretary, the attorney general. He's only been telling us this for 10 months, what he plans to do. It's like the Saturday Night Massacre. They drag out John Dean, the guy that doesn't even have a law license anymore, the guy who served time, as I seem to recall, through Watergate. Now he's a contributor to one of, CNN or MSNBC? There's an authority. And what does he say? It's like the president's plotting to kill somebody, a murder. Well, so he gets rid of Sessions. What? So what happens? He has an acting attorney general. Then I hear these so-called experts say, he can't do that. There's a rule of succession. Of course he can do that. Moreover, they say, it's like the Saturday Night Massacre. How? Did he fire Mueller? Did he order the attorney general to fire Mueller? Did he order the deputy attorney general to fire Mueller? He hasn't ordered anyone to do anything to Mueller. Mueller's still, roaming the countryside looking for people to prosecute and challenge and so forth and so on. Nothing's happened. But Schumer's there. Schumer's there. I think we have a constitutional crisis. Let me tell you something. This is an important point. I have said that the appointment of Mueller is unconstitutional. It violates the Appointments Clause. And Schumer proves my point every day. You know why? Because if Mueller was just like an assistant U.S. attorney, a U.S. attorney, they wouldn't keep saying, he's separate, protect him, he's different, he has to report to himself effectively. That's why his appointment is unconstitutional, because it's supposed to go to the Senate and be confirmed. Just a little nicety there that I wanted to mention as well. In any event, the Republicans had a very good night, and they had a good night, quite frankly, because of the president. It's the president who held the Senate and some of these excellent candidates. And the losses in the House could have been worse, but they weren't worse. And that's why the media are furious, Sean. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to tell the media something. You're humiliating yourselves. You're embarrassing yourselves. The American people, more and more, are turning on you, not because the president says you're the enemy of the people, but because you act like the enemy of the people. You know what we learned in this press conference today, thanks to the media? Nothing. A presidential press conference isn't for CNN, which doesn't have any viewers anyway. It's for we, the American people. You ask questions to elicit information from our president so we can know what's going on.
You know, Mark, I put up Barack Obama in his first midterm, 69 House and Senate seats. Bill Clinton, 60. 3 times it's happened where a president in his first midterm wins this many seats. That's it.
Yeah, but they're liberals, they're Democrats, they like them, so, they get treated quite differently.
All right, great one. We call you the great one for a reason. Mark Levin, don't miss Life, Liberty, Levin. #1 show, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. You get to see it all right here on the Fox News Channel.